Hi, this is Chandrashekhar coming for the fifth time in connection with Bhava lectures, and we are talking about the fifth Bhava. Fifth Bhava, as extrapolated on the time personified, that is human body represented by time, indicates stomach of the Jataka. It also indicates the fetus of the Jataka, so the progeny, right from the stage of fetus. Fifth Bhava also is indicative of intellect of the Jataka. Fifth Bhava also relates to the mantra, the sacred chants. But not only sacred chants, mantra also means advice, sound advice. Whenever in Hindu Shastras something is being said, it is always assumed that it is about something good which is being imparted. So he is also, the fifth Bhava also relates to mantra, the advice. Mantrana means advice, and mantra, besides being a sacred chant, the chant, its primary use is to strengthen or protect mana, mind. Now one can always understand that when intellect is operating properly, mind, which is variable, becomes steady. So the way it is expressed is, they say, manana trayati iti mantraha. That which protects mind because of continuous repetition is called mantra. Now, having understood this, we go to the next stage. It also represents Shishya or student of the Jataka. Now, why student of the Jataka? We have seen that Sanskrit has a capacity of using less words to indicate many things. Now, those of you who are religiously inclined or like Sanskrit recitation would know Guru Gita, which says, Yasya sthitya satyam idam yad bhati bhanu rupataha. Yasya sthitya satyam idam yad bhati bhanu rupataha. Priyam putradi yat pritya tasmai Shri Guru Nama. I salute that Guru in whose personality truth resides, one whose effulgence is as bright as the sun itself, because sun always represents knowledge in Sanskrit. Any light is knowledge, and one who loves his student as if he is his own son or daughter, that is progeny. I salute such a Guru. So the connection between fifth Bhava and the Shishya or student of the Jataka should be obvious, because when we say progeny, it means both the physical progeny as well as those whom the Jataka would treat like progeny. Now, having understood this, how do we use this information? And is there something more about fifth Bhava is what I would like to talk about a bit, so that the concept is understood. My father, who was a doctor, also knew astrology very well. His mother was also an astrologer, and her forefathers. So once when I was very young, I asked my father as to what should indicate to us strength of a chart. And he said, you always look at the fifth Bhava and fifth from fifth, that is the ninth Bhava, to understand whether that chart has some strength. That is, the mind of the Jataka has some strength, ability to understand, performing duties and other things. The duties part I will talk about when we come to the ninth Bhava. So why? Then he said, look at a North Indian chart and you will see the apex is the Lagna, the entire personality of the Jataka, including his body. Now, upon what it rests? The base is provided by fifth Bhava, representing the acquired knowledge, the intellect of the person. Intellect as against emotions. These two are diametrically opposite. Let us understand this. Or at least that is how I view it, and that is how the ancients view it. And the ninth from it, which is primarily the Bhava for, we call it Dharma, but Dharma means Dharayati iti Dharma, that which is worthy of being upheld is Dharma, which means duties of that person at a particular point of time. Everybody knows what is his duty till he is under pressure, and that is when we make mistakes. Now, fifth is acquired knowledge. So he says, if these two things are powerful, then it doesn't matter even if the Jataka's body is weak, he will still make a name for himself. he will be respected. And so fifth bhava has a great importance, because this is all those experiences that we get. It is house of acquired knowledge, as they call it. And since it is acquired knowledge, we must understand that if you use your acquired knowledge properly, you are less likely to fail in your life when faced with any difficulty. Similarly, we also to understand that the fifth bhava, besides mantra, also indicates the devata, the deity that a person might be wanting to, or rather be attracted to, because this is a bhava, this is a place. Influence on fifth bhava indicates what influences you, because your intellect is attracted to certain things, and these are all shown by the fifth bhava. Having said that, as we go ahead, then we also think that what about education, because fifth bhava is also called as the place of great thesis or great texts. Because in ancient Hindu times, it is text which give knowledge were always supposed to be the text worthy of being called texts. So, having said this, in case of modern times, what happens is we will see there are three bhavas which can be connected to education. The first is the second bhava, which we call the Maukik education or the elementary education. Because in ancient time, it was all taught at home only. The system of pre-nursery, nursery did not exist then. The system was simple. After 5 years of age, a boy would go to his Gurukula, you can say the residential school of the Guru, and then he would study there for 12 years. That part is shown by the fourth house, because as we have seen in the fourth bhava, fourth house is an education which is required to gain some gainful employment or get into some profession which gives you karma, the 10th bhava. That is why 4th and 10th are opposite to each other. When we come to 5th bhava, as we have seen, it is acquired knowledge. So let us put it this way, we can say that that is a bhava which is indicative of education that one takes out of his own quest for knowledge. So it would be higher than that minimum which is required to get some career or other, which would be necessary. And this area would change over times, because once upon a time even vernacular final, as we call it, was enough to get a job or a career. Even now in the western part of the world, high school pass out is called graduation, which is a basic minimum thing which is required for you to get some work which is worthwhile. Anything beyond that, so what is represented by fifth bhava, or what level of education is represented by the fifth bhava, when we want to understand that, let us understand it would depend on the country where the Jataka resides or where he is from. The times about which we are talking, because with time this will go on changing, and any science has to be changeable, which astrology is changeable. People don't understand that, and so we get trapped into yogas and only this will happen and nothing but this will happen and all those sort of things. No, that is not the case. So this also indicates the acquired knowledge of a person. Now I was talking about intellect and emotions. So, and this being a very important rather say bhava which supports our entire personality, one of the important bhavas rather, because ninth is the other one. So whenever you will find harm to the fifth bhava, the person is more likely to take decisions based on emotions rather than cold hard thinking. This has to be understood, and generally damage there can also indicate somebody marrying for out of emotions rather than proper thought and thinking about things rationally, about what will happen, how he is going to interact with that person, what will happen to the progeny, because fifth bhava is the bhava of progeny. When people do something other than that, in India we call it love marriage, because in India most of the time marriages are arranged by the parents. But even there, if it is only based on emotions, then we can say there would be some damage or some malefic influencing the fifth bhava. But it need not always be only marriages. it can also be any person which influences your intellect for a long period of your life. So having understood this, let us also understand that suppose Rahu is there in the fifth bhava, so what happens? His intellect gets clouded. So where does the clouding occur? Clouding will occur in the area of his experiences, because you acquire knowledge through various experiences that you have in your life and various things that you study out of the normal academic course. So what happens is, many a times if a person is committing same mistakes again and again, having already suffered because of that, more than likely Rahu is going to be in his fifth house. But there is a way of treating this Rahu in a different manner. Rahu also, though he is illusion creator, as is well known, he is also somebody who is, or rather the energy which makes a person be very inquisitive about things which are not easily understood. That is why Rahu is said to reside in Valmika, the ant hills, where we can't see anything. So if that person engages himself in research into anything, any area that he has come across during course of his life, then he can be a very great research person. So nobody need to be really sorry that he has some bad graha at one place, which is bad planet at one place, or malefic there, so everything is destroyed. No, nothing is destroyed. If you understand the energy that is representing that particular planet and what are the options available, you will always find there is one option which leads to something good. And if you don't exercise those options, then negative things can happen. It is as simple as somebody coming to you, or a tax person coming to you and asking for your returns, and then offers you some sort of way out, that you pay it now so that we don't have to impose additional penalty, and you anyway need to do that, and you do it yourself, then the penalty would not be there. Otherwise there could be penalty, there could be prosecution, there could be many hassles, isn't it? So it is not that somebody from IRS coming to you is doing something bad for you. See, how you treat that his visit would decide whether the result for you will be good or bad. So having said this, friends, I will close this chapter now, the lecture now, and shall sign off. And as usual, I would request all of you to kindly give your opinion and your suggestions about how I can improve these lectures of mine, which will be coming in course of time. Hopefully every week I would try to give one lecture or other on prime first. After finishing bhavas, then we will see what can be done, and in that area if somebody has some suggestions, I would welcome it. And I am using this green screen behind me because it is very hot in Nagpur where I reside. It is temperature is touching around 45-46 now, and I need to sit somewhere cool, so I am not sitting in my office, and my bedroom is all not very properly arranged, let us say. The books are lying everywhere, and see, my specs are somewhere, and so I am just using this green background to hide what is behind me, you can say. And then I will also try to perhaps remove this background through using the video editing, but I am not very sure whether I will be able to do it. I can see some green tinge on my hair, which is perhaps because of the screen behind, and if somebody can suggest me a better way of removing this background and putting something else there, I would appreciate it much. I use VSDC as the video editor. So dear friends, thank you. And I have seen many of you are giving comments regularly, and very positive comments, and I am thankful to everybody. Thank you very much, and see you next time.